The eyes of the world will focus on Britain over the next few days. For our Prime Minister, his latest trip has been a chance to talk trade and meet the royal family. Jonathan Lee filed this from London.
It's been a lively 24 hours for Prime Minister Albanese, meeting the future King, Prince William, talking trade and also hosting Australia's representatives ahead of the King's coronation on Saturday. The PM left on foot from the High Commissioner's residence in the Royal Borough of Kensington to meet the new Prince of Wales, later tweeting, "A pleasure to meet with Prince William at Kensington Palace," returning before a steady stream of guests arrived, from footballer Sam Kerr to comedian Adam Hill and Governor-General David Hurley. Musician Nick Cave arriving perhaps fashionably late, apparently choosing to avoid taking part in any group photographs while the cameras were present. Those there made aware of what the PM calls an incredible event of historic significance.
Some of you I chose. Some of you were people who weren't as familiar to me as others. But when you go through, what we wanted to get was a group of people who said Australia, with all our strength, with our diversity. So the palace, when I met with His Excellency, said that they wanted, for example, Indigenous representation here. But we also wanted to get a balance of gender, balance of different backgrounds that reflected modern Australia in 2023.
Mr Albanese reiterating King Charles can head down under when it suits.
Family would all be very welcome in our nation at a time of their choosing. So this is a rising out by definition, a rising out of sadness for the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. This is a time for also commemoration for the coronation on Saturday. The whole world will be focused on London, and thank you for participating.
This poignant moment from the Governor-General.
When I first became the Governor of New South Wales, I was talking to a lady and I said to her, I've gone from being an old crotchety general now to hugging people. And I'm not quite sure if that's right. And she said, no, you don't understand your job. When you go and hug people in times of tragedy, it's vicarious. We're hugging them through you.
Earlier in the day, those who'll see history firsthand talked of their honour.
I'm very, very honoured to be part of a procession of the Orders of Valour, and that will include obviously colleagues from New Zealand, Canada, the Commonwealth countries.
There's no words that can describe the excitement. It's an absolute honour and privilege to be here, and I consider myself extremely lucky to have been chosen, and I'm so grateful.
The PM also spruiking what's known as the entry into force of Australia's free trade agreement with Britain, which begins at the end of May.
Well, as part of the FTA, we will change some of the labour market so that instead of being 30 years of age to get that temporary visa, it will increase it up to 35 in both countries and extend it to 3 years so that people can come here, get that real experience over a longer period of time.
Tomorrow, the Prime Minister will sit down for an official bilateral with new British PM Rishi Sunak at 10 Downing Street. Ukraine, Russia and China likely to all be on the agenda, along with inflation and the cost of living. Tomorrow, Mr Albanese is also expected to be a guest at a luncheon reception along with other dignitaries as the countdown from days turns into hours ahead of the King's coronation along the historic streets of Old London Town.